Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money.
Wow, 2 events in 2 weeks? How much is that damn network worth to people anyway? Hey guys, Fred here, welcome to the CC Network's predictions for Money in the Bank 2015. Now, usually this event is quite difficult to predict matches for because, well, it's Money in the Bank, lots of people have opportunities, you kind of get where that gist is going. But this year it practically isn't. You know, from my perspective of watching Raw, it just seems that this pay-per-view, just like the last few, are going to be predictable as hell. Which means, WWE, your job, just like Elimination Chamber, for the most part, is to make me feel entertained. And after Elimination Chamber itself got 4 out of 10, I kinda want to see better. Let's hope to God we get it. Let's get on with the predictions, and shall we? Okay, I don't normally review or rate the pre-show matches on any video I do, mostly because they have no real value, and looking at R-Truth versus King Barrett, I can kind of see why. King Barrett's going to get the win, I don't need to say any more. Let's take a look at the Divas Championship match, featuring Nikki Bella versus Paige. Now, I said at the last pay-per-view, special event, whatever you want to call it, that Nikki Bella losing the belt would be beneficial, because now she's held the title for nearly 6 to 7 months, we kind of need to see someone new. However, should that someone new be Paige? She's held the title 3 times in the last year, and to be honest, I'm heavily biased because I come from East Anglia, the same region as Paige in the UK. I would feel the need to praise her to high hell and say yes, give her the title, but the thing is, I would have rather have had Naomi win at the last pay-per-view just like I predicted, mostly because I'm getting a little sick of the Bella Twins, especially considering the twin magic stuff. Like, they look completely different. Nikki Bella has huge tits and brown hair. How can you not tell the difference, ref? And not to mention, it doesn't make them out to be that much of a face team if they do what was their original heel tactic when they arrived in the company in the first place. Nonetheless, do I think Paige is going to win this? No. Do I think it's going to be an entertaining match? Let's hope, as long as there's no bullshit involved. And when I look at it, I don't want Nikki Bella to win, but in this case, she kind of needs to, because we need to see a new diva come in and try and win the title off her, whether it's Tamina, Naomi, a debuting Charlotte. I don't know what you can think of. There's all kinds of things you can think, but to me, Paige winning, sure, it would resolute her story of getting that title back that she lost in quite a crazy way, and then ended up, you know how it all goes, there should be a story in there, but I'm just not feeling it. Anyway, I'm going to give it to Nikki Bella, enough said. Now, we have the Big Show versus Ryback for the Intercontinental Championship, and there's only one way this is gonna go, and I told you about predictability, it's gonna be Ryback. The thing that really annoys me about this, you know that spot that happened this past week, on Raw, with that shell shock? Everyone went insane, including myself, thinking, holy crap, Ryback is lifting Big Show on his shoulders to do a shell shock. You know what annoyed me the most about that? That should have been the finish for this match. You look at this and think, okay, that's the end of the pay-per-view already ruined. We might as well not even bother wasting our time to see if Ryback can do that, because he's already done it. Ryback was going to win regardless. Big Show doesn't need it, honestly, and I'm hoping Ryback is the one to put Big Show out to pasture with this feud. If it lasts for 1 match, sure, that'll be alright, I'm fine with it. If it goes on for a few extra, just make sure that Ryback gets the win in every single one of them. He will retain the title that he only recently won, makes valid sense to not have Ryback just be a flash in the pan after Daniel Bryan handed the title to him. Let's go on to the next match. And that next match is New Day versus Primetime Players for the Tag Team Championships. One thing that made me realise this while the match came to be is this the first time that 2 sets of African-American teams have faced off in WWE? I'm probably wrong and my mind is a little hazy so I can't remember, but if that actually is true, please do state so in the comment section. Nonetheless, when I heard the Primetime Players were going into this as number 1 contenders, I thought, yes, finally they can get what they should have gotten a couple of years ago, which was a tag title run. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like even with this going on, we're going to get it. Now, I understand Kofi's in the main event Money in the Bank ladder match because, well, he need a high flyer in there, and it would be kind of awesome to see the New Day help him win the Money in the Bank contract, but the thing is, it all depends on the result of this match. You see, if as WrestleMania WrestleMania dictated, Seth Rollins lost his actual match on the card but then won the world title. You know, it balances itself out. So in this case, if New Day were to lose the tag titles, then you can tell that Kofi is going to win the Money in the Bank and the New Day will become immensely hated as a result for it, which will make for great television. But the likelihood of that happening is pretty much zero, which annoys me because I really do want to see the primetime players win. So, you know what, after the dominance that they showed in the Elimination Chamber to end up getting eliminated by the New Day, this should be quite fun to watch. It should be a quite physical, fast-paced, entertaining tag match. Hopefully, we will see some good action, but we know the New Day is going to come out of this with the titles regardless of what happens. So, we're going to hope that this feud, as it goes down the line, will have some cool matches to really give us a running for their money, and inevitably have the primetime players win further down the road, maybe in a SummerSlam match or something. I don't really know at this point. Let's hope our minds can think something good up for these two teams, because this could be a match of the night contender if done right. Now, we have the Money in the Bank ladder match itself, consisting of Roman Reigns, Kane, the aforementioned Kofi Kingston, Dolph Ziggler, Randy Orton, Sheamus, and Neville. You know what I said about predictability? This match has predictability written all over its laddery face. You look at Kofi Kingston, and like I said, unless the New Day lose the tag titles, they are not going to have Kofi win this thing, and I would love it regardless, as I've already mentioned. You look at Neville and think he's just going to be there for spots, a red arrow off the top, possibly into an RKO maybe, I don't know, but that's all where he's going to be there for. You then have Randy Orton, who held the Money in the Bank as recently as 2 years ago. He's had his run at Rollins. It really doesn't make sense for him to be in there other than deliver that sweet looking RKO. You then look at Dolph Ziggler, and I'm just thinking, yeah, he won, I believe, in 2012. I'm thinking, okay, Ziggler getting Money in the Bank again would be kind of interesting, but I don't know where they could go with it, because they've already done him with Money in the Bank before, and I'm not entirely sure what they could do with it, really. It's confusing and annoying, knowing that Ziggler's immensely talented and WWE could probably figure something out, but I look at this and just say, he's just in there to sell the ladders. And honestly, you need a guy in there to do some body psychology, so why not have it be one of the best sellers in the business? Makes valid sense, right? There I have Sheamus, returning with a new gimmick, a new lease on life, and a lot of momentum going forward. Out of that match, I look at it and just say to myself, if Rusev was in this match, not with a busted ankle, we could have him in here winning this. But then I look at Sheamus and think, he hasn't won Money in the Bank. He won the Royal Rumble, he's won the King of the Ring. If he gets this, he'll have the trifecta of wins in non-championship events in WWE history, just like Edge. And yeah, it'd be kind of interesting for Sheamus to get that opportunity, but I don't think he's going to win it. Because it won't really make sense storyline-wise unless he's there to beat the crap out of a face that's come up from NXT, or be able to face off against Lesnar way down the line, which he'll inevitably lose. So that wouldn't make too much sense. That would also partake in Lesnar holding the title again. Nonetheless, I don't think Sheamus is going to win it for those reasons, because again, it doesn't make storyline sense. Then I look at the reasons where it does make storyline sense. Kane winning would be great, because then we might be able to see him versus Rollins in the match that's been building since just after WrestleMania, and it would be kind of interesting to give Kane one last title run before he inevitably bows out of the business completely. Then you look at Reigns, who everyone says is going to win, and probably will, because if they're going to build up this Reigns versus Triple H match for SummerSlam that a lot of people think may happen, it would be great to have him win Money in the Bank, wave it in Kane and the Authorities' faces, and inevitably get Triple H so pissed off that inevitably after what happens at Battleground, whatever that may be, you then have the match ready and then. And of course, not to mention, you can have Reigns winning the title off of Rollins in any way possible. Although we are probably going to be waiting for a Shield triple threat at Mania for that to happen. Now, I'm going to say this right now, I know it's predictable, but Roman Reigns makes the most sense, even though I wouldn't put it beside myself if Kane were to inevitably come through with the briefcase. Now, we have the match that everyone wants to see, Kevin Owens versus John Cena 2, because we have no idea where this is going to go, because for God's sake, we had no idea how it was going to go the first time. We had no idea that Kevin Owens was going to win clean, and I stress that because even though I thought, he could win, but it may take a Deus Ex Machina to do it, he didn't need one, and won clean in a match that was Match of the Year worthy. But then I look at this and say to myself, WWE, ask yourself this question. Does John Cena need it? And I would answer that question with a big fat no, because you look at John Cena. Does he really need a win? over Kevin Owens. Does he really need to prove himself? The fact is, I understand other wrestlers like a Rusev, like a Bray Wyatt in recent years have won a match against Cena under shady circumstances, so inevitably coming over and fighting against the odds to win makes sense, even though it's a very major detriment to the character of the wrestler he's beating. You look at a guy here who has beaten him clean, and you think to yourself, well, okay, he's beaten John Cena, that's all well and good, but if he loses a rematch held so soon afterwards, it would not look good on Owens' track record to people who are just tuning into the programming for the first time. And I look at Kevin Owens and say, if he can beat John Cena that good, then holy damn, no one else can. And not to mention the fact, if Owens did, imagine how good it would make him, a new star, look to new fans, to people who don't really watch WWE or haven't watched for a while, and he can say, hey, I beat John Cena twice. You know, how amazing would that be to his credibility and his momentum going forward? He is the next big star, and they need to build him like it. It's not being forced down our throats because it's actually being shown in a very athletic, very physical match with a good amount of storytelling involved. Now, I understand if Cena is in this match getting the upper hand and actually looking strong in the match, that's good. Just allow the result to go the way it should. Have Owens win. Because then you can have Cena being gracious in defeat, knowing it wasn't a fluke, like he rolled out of the ring the first time thinking, crap, I just got beaten by somebody, holy damn. This time he can sell the defeat, show his, I would say, sincerity and sportsmanship, and then go back to his US title challenge feeling like, okay, I need to change things up a little bit. I need to be more highly strung and get through these people and just show them why I am so good while also giving them a chance, you know, to rebuild himself up again in a brand new feud. And that also means that Kevin Owens gets to be going, I'm a boss, and he'll inevitably lose the NXT title in Japan to Finn Balor like everyone else expects. Nonetheless, I'm not going to stress it anymore. Kevin Owens for the win. I will personally not accept anything less. Unless there is a Deus Ex Machina that makes it look quite shady. For Cena to win on a shady victory for once, that would be kind of interesting. Now, time for the main event, which is Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins for the world title in a ladder match. Now, last pay-per-view we saw Dean win clean against Seth for the first time, and we all lost it, but to see Seth win in such a backhanded way was so good. So good because it was the slimmest margin he's ever won the title match with. And this time, he can't, because he hasn't got Kane with him, he hasn't got J&J with him, he hasn't got anyone with him. It's just going to be him and Ambrose in this match. And that's where the psychology of this match will tell itself. It's about Seth Rollins showing he can do things on his own, while it's also showing of Dean Ambrose's ability to soak it all up and fight back. So hopefully, when the match is over with, Dean Ambrose gets the crowd fully on his side, but you respect Seth Rollins a little for actually being able to fight his way to win a title match for once, which would be actually very good for both men either way. And you see, if Kane or Roman Reigns do end up winning Money in the Bank, Seth Rollins is the winner for this. I know I want to see Dean Ambrose as world champion as much as the next guy, and I would love to see it because the crowd went nuts, I went nuts, everybody did when he thought he won at the last show. But it just doesn't feel like Ambrose's time. It really doesn't. Even though he's riding a wave of momentum right now, he should not win this. We need to have Seth Rollins be that kind of heel champion who is champion for such a long time that when someone kicks his ass and wins it, it means something. That's the same thing with Brock Lesnar. You know, he was kept around as champion for ages, so when he did end up losing it, it actually meant something. You know? See what I mean? Nonetheless, I'm going to give Seth Rollins this one, but I am hoping to God the story of this match does its job and sells it. Give me good psychology of the body throughout by working it on ladders. Do some big spots. Do something to make me say, you know what, the crowd are getting into this, it'll be paced well and have good time to showcase itself. I can then give this match as high a rating as I possibly can, because I know these two can do well in hardcore matches. Let's hope, unlike the Hell in a Cell, it ends with a decisive victor this time. Well guys, that's my predictions done with. I hope you've all enjoyed, and I want to know, what are your thoughts on the pay-per-view? Do you think it'll be good? Who do you think's going to win? Because a lot of times, Money in the Bank delivers quite well. Let's hope it can keep up its reputation. Put your comments in the comment section, I'd be glad to read them and respond. If you want to see me live tweeting during the pay-per-view on Sunday, go and follow me at CC Network YT on Twitter. It'll be very interesting to see how you guys are taking it as well. And you know, if you want to see some other stuff on the CC Network this upcoming weekend, I do have the next part of the Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD playthrough going up between this video being up online and the review for the pay-per-view coming out on the Monday. So there's no reason not to be entertained by this channel over this period. It's all good. And if you want to check out on social media, there's a Facebook, Tumblr links all down there in the description box as well. A like and a subscribe would be very greatly appreciated if you've all enjoyed. I'll be happy to see you all at the next video. I've been Freddie Thomas, you've been people listening. This has been the CC Network Money in the Bank predictions video, and I'll see you all next time. Cheers!